way down south in the land of cotton melody untiring, ain't that inspiring? Hurrah, hurrah, we'll join the Jubilee, and that's going some for the Yankees by gum. Red, white, and blue, I am for you, honest, you're a grand old flag. You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave.
Hey everyone, it's Surface Nerd, and today we will be talking about Army flag vests used in the Vietnam War. This will be part 3 of the Vietnam War Deep Dive series. And so, when you think about flag vests in the Vietnam War, you mostly think about the Marines and how they always had their flag vests after 1968. However, the Army did have their own flag vests, and I don't have all the examples here today. Obviously, I just have one, but I will put up photos of the other examples as we move along. So first things first, the first flag vest you'll see will be the model 1952A. This was a Korean War era flag vest that was issued out to troops earlier on in the war and would be preferred by most tank crewmen who wore helmets with earpieces, as that one it didn't have a collar, which was great for them because this collar would get in the way of those helmets. So, as I said, that flag vest didn't have a collar. It was brown, and it was actually the exact same shape as these. These all kind of kept the same shape throughout the entire war. It would be denoted by, well, one, it being brown, but two, it would have the epaulets. However, everything else was the same zipper and buttons, although I think the zipper was actually below the buttons, but I can't remember. Of course, you have the armor going over the buttons. Then we have the drain holes at the bottom. That's my feet, sorry. With the drain holes at the bottom to drain out water when water gets in. It was soft body armor, like all the other flag vests during the war. Had these two main pockets and the hanger, the holders like here, which you could hold ammo pouches, grenades, really anything you needed to, right there. And its tag on the inside was also the same. Now that would be used by, like I said, tank crewmen and early war soldiers who were in more shrapnel areas. However, later on in 1967 is when they started this, but they weren't really introduced until around 1968, would be this exact flag vest, except a little different. This is the 3/4 collar flag vest, denoted by the addition of the 3/4 collar, and also it was green instead of brown. The exact example would also have epaulets. However, there was 2 batches of these. This is one of the first batch ones. You see it's dated 1967, but the first batch is denoted by, the 823 right here. That denotes that this is the first contract number of these flag vests. However, there would be a second contract number, which would be 122 instead of 823. And that, we'll talk about those differences in a little bit. But this would be the first kind of flag vest you see, except this one's weird because it doesn't have epaulets, even though all the ones in the contract code should. Although it's also 67, which this is just a strange flag vest in general. So really what I'm thinking is they started making these in 67, and apparently by late 68, you got introduced to the second contract number, which is denoted by 122. Now those are a little different. They're like these where there would be no epaulets, and they also added ballistic stiffeners into the soft armor, because as you can see, this likes to bunch up very, very easily. It's not very fun. It doesn't really do all that much, but it's quite annoying. So they added ballistic stiffeners to help the body armor stay where it needs to be, and have full protection everywhere instead of just being clumped up. But yeah, so those basically, that really kind of stayed the same. And this would be this is the iconic flak vest used by the United States Army in the Vietnam War. You see this from 68 to 69, and in 1969, introduced in 70, we have the actual M69 flak vest. A lot of people like to call this one right here the M69. This is not the M69. The M69 is the last iteration, which basically stayed the same as the second batch 3/4, except it got rid of the button snaps and zipper and had a Velcro cover and closing system. Not only that, the tag was different. The tag was no longer white. It was bigger, placed in the middle. It was green, and that information was at the bottom, that at the top. It's pretty interesting. You don't really see a whole lot of those, but that would be the last flak vest used by the Army. Anyways, that'll be it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.
You're the emblem of the land I love.